I'm David Haig from Creative Content. Welcome to my 5-minute tutorial on the basics of lighting, brought to you by the Aperture and its Amaran range of lights. In my years of writing and talking about video and photography, I've always stressed that without light there is nothing. This is why it is so important. However, watching movies and TV shows and the many and varied environments they are shot in, you might think that the skill of lighting the sets is an art way beyond a mere mortal. And it's true, there are specialists in this field who deal with lights and only lights, much like there are specialist camera and audio people. Like most things though, lighting can be boiled down to a few basics. Most common lighting setup is achieved using just 3 lights, and these are called the key, the fill and the backlight. The key is the light that directly illuminates the subject. If shooting inside, this can be a dedicated light or the one on the camera. If outside, commonly the sun is used. The second, the fill, also shines on the subject, often from the side relative to the key and lower than the key. It is usually a softer light than the key as well, and its main task is to reduce shadows and light darken areas. The third, the backlight, as the name suggests, is often placed behind the subject, and its job is to provide depth to the shot and remove the subject from the background. The height of a light creates different moods or effects, especially when shooting people. If you want your subject to appear threatening or have a feeling of power, light them from a low angle. Conversely, putting a light up high tends to lead the audience's eyes to where they should be looking and adds a pleasant ambience to a scene. This one is the hardest to explain, as much of it is a personal preference. Suffice to say that colour certainly can add mood to a scene. Examples include using red to imply anger or intensity, blue for a cool and dignified look, green for a fresh and natural appearance, and white for a feeling of purity or innocence. One important thing to understand is the distinction between hard and soft lighting. Hard light gives sharp shadows, whereas soft lighting diffuses the light, giving gentler ambience and lighter shadows. Back in the day, as they say, we used big lights on stands that ran blazingly hot. To get different colours or diffusions, gels and other materials were placed in front of the lights, and fires were not uncommon. Globe life was also an issue. The advent and technology of the LED light, however, has changed forever the way we do lighting. This little life Aperture is part of their MC4 travel kit, which has 4 of these in a small case that doubles as a charging system. Now, it may look like a simple white LED light, but there's more here than meets the eye. For example, using this control wheel, you can control not just the temperature of the light, but the hue, the colour and the saturation. A second mode contains lighting presets for such things as fireworks, pulsing, police car and paparazzi, easily letting you add special effects to a scene, like this. Using the Sidus Link app and Bluetooth from Android or Apple smartphones and tablets, individual lights can be placed into a group and operated as one. This $750 kit comes with a tripod of magnetic mounts, silicon diffusers and even Bluetooth support, so you can control the lights from an Android or Apple smartphone or tablet. Additionally, the case also has a pair of USB ports letting you use it as a charging station for other devices. A full charge on a single light, by the way, gives you over 2 hours of illumination. The Amaran Cob 60X S Bicolor, on the other hand, is a very powerful and versatile standalone light with industry standard connections such as a Bowen's mount, and is designed for studio or vlogging use. It is powered by a supplied AC-DC converter, but you can use standard V-Lock batteries and it comes with a separate charger for those too. This light can also be controlled from the smartphone app and has full access to the range of controls and effects of its smaller siblings. There are also lights for specific cameras such as the GoPro. Of course, this is only a very small part of what is available, and Amaran and its parent Aperture has a huge range of different types of lighting for all sorts of situations and environments. You can get information on all the Amaran lights at this web address. There is lots of support and advice on lighting there too, and it's well worth a look if you want more in-depth information. Okay, I hear you say, but I'm not shooting the next Ben-Hur or Blade Runner, so what are some really basic rules to follow and things to look out for when shooting with my camera, smartphone or GoPro? Are there any shadows obscuring important elements of the scene? Are the important elements highlighted? Look out for what in hindsight might seem obvious, such as a reflection in someone's glasses. Or, if shooting someone against a sunrise or sunset, can you see their face? If not, turn on your camera's light or flash. Is the sky too bright and washing out your subject? If so, you might need a neutral density filter. Similarly, if you are getting reflections shooting over water, a polarizing filter will help. When snorkeling, coloured filters can be used dependent on the watercolour and depth. Finally, just remember two things. In video and photography, there are no set rules. If you like the look of a scene and the way it's lit, that's fine, even if it does appear to break all the known norms or what the textbooks might say. Secondly, don't let the science of lighting overwhelm what the end game is, and that is to get a photo or video you like, whether it be a landscape shot while driving through the European Alps, recording someone's wedding, or simply the kids splashing in the pool in the backyard. And that is the basics of lighting. If you apply these when shooting, you can't go wrong, but like all things video and photo, don't be afraid to experiment. One of the most famous scenes that broke every rule in lighting was again filmed by my favourite director, Stanley Kubrick. In Dr. Strangelove, he tried all sorts of different lighting techniques, only to end up using candles. I'm David from Creative Content, and thanks for watching. Subscribe to this video channel to get notifications of new tutorials and my weekly news broadcasts, and hopefully you'll give us a like. Oh, one more thing. If you use a GoPro or other action type camera, I think you'll like my free 60-page e-magazine. You can download it from my website at www.creativecontent.au and select the option in the menu bar.